Hi, Somerset Stars. How are you doing? It's Dr. Hannah back for another week of COVID Corner with Dr. Hannah. I hope you've had a great week since I saw you last time. Since I posted the last video, we had some snow here in Minnesota. Did you get a chance to go outside and play in it? I hope you did. Maybe you made a snow family or a snow puppy, or maybe made a snow angel. We even had our sled out in the front yard. Can you believe it? Wow. Well, I hope you've had a good week, whatever it is that you did. I have so enjoyed getting questions from you. This week, I'm going to start a new series within COVID Corner about feelings. I have had a couple questions from students about different types of feelings. And so I want to talk a little bit more about feelings in general, and then a couple specific types of feelings that I think a lot of people have been having. When I think about feelings in general, I think about how we all have so many feelings, often at the same time. We're almost never just one feeling. So even when I'm feeling really happy, I sometimes have a little bit of nervousness. Sometimes when I'm sad, I still have a little bit of excitedness. I often have a mix of all of these feelings. Most of the time, my feelings are just a part of what I notice about my body and my day. But sometimes they turn into a big part of what I notice. Think about when you're making macaroni and cheese or a pot of spaghetti. First thing you do is you fill a pot of water up, not quite to the top, but kind of near to the top. Now, if the pot just sits there, no problem. But then you turn on the heat, and that same water that was sitting really calmly in the bucket or in the pot, not in a bucket, starts to bubble. And sometimes it bubbles so much that it bubbles over the top. And it can be the same thing with our feelings. The same feelings that sometimes sit really nicely and quietly in our bodies, sometimes bubble over the top. And that can be a good thing when you're really excited about something and you start getting a little wacky or goofy because you're so happy. It can be a sad thing. Sometimes our sadness bubbles over the top and we cry. It can be a mixture of those things. Like if you're excited or you're nervous, sometimes our feelings get really big. The other thing about feelings, something that I've noticed, is that sometimes the bigger our feelings are, the harder they can be to talk about. Is that something you've ever noticed? I wonder if that happens to you too. But the reason I want to talk about feelings is because I think it's really super important that right now, while our lives are a little bit different from COVID-19, that we practice talking about the feelings we're having, because we're all having a lot of changes, and that can bring out a lot of these really big feelings. So the feeling I want to talk about today is being nervous or afraid. I've had a couple students ask me about being nervous and share that that's how they've been feeling. And so I want to share back to you that yeah, sometimes I get nervous too, and that that's okay. What I want you to do when you feel nervous is talk to somebody about it. I know that can be really hard, but I want you to find a grown-up in your life who you trust, whether it's a big brother or sister, an aunt or uncle, grandma, grandpa, or your mom and dad, and tell them, say, hey, I want to talk to you because I am feeling nervous about, and then whatever it is that's making you feel nervous. Now, sometimes you might even feel nervous and not know why. That's okay too. Make sure to talk about it. One of the things that helps me is to try to think about what's making me nervous and then why it might be making me nervous. So if I'm saying, oh, I'm nervous because I know there's a virus and I am concerned that someone I know might get sick. Okay, that's a real concern, and that's okay that I feel nervous about that. And that means, on the other hand, that I have people in my life that I care about and who I love. And so I then try to focus more on how I love those people and the special things that I have, in those relationships with my family and my friends. And it reminds me to call those people and check in and see how they're doing. Now, you may sometimes feel nervous about other things like, I'm not sure if I know how to do this homework assignment. Well, if you mention that to your grown-ups, then it lets you ask for help. So talking about these things can be really hard, but you know what? It's also really super important. And you may find that if you talk about your feelings, that it makes it easier for other people in your life to talk about their feelings back with you. And that helps all of us. So I want you to try, and whatever it is you're feeling, at some point in the next couple days, share that. Share it with somebody. And ask them to share with you how they're feeling too. Because I think that brings us all a little bit closer together, and I'd love to hear about how that goes. So until next week, stay healthy, do your homework, of course, and have some fun. Take care. Bye.